What are some ways we can nurture the inner child, foster grounding, and address ancestral wounds for healing? So again, that's a great question, but it's really back to what is the work here? What is the invitation here? The invitation here, we don't want to go back to the child. The child's gone. Okay? We don't want to go back to the child for the child's sake because the child isn't back there. The child is here. And we nurtured the child by removing, well, first understanding how it's showing up, and then removing the obstacles that are in its way of growing up. But it's you nurture the inner child by first confronting the shadow. Like, where are you getting stuck? You know, so what kind of beliefs get triggered when you're in these familiar situations that you feel out of your power, out of your center, you feel taken advantage of, or you feel like you're getting angry and insensitive and becoming a jerk like too quickly. Like your automatic response is to become a jerk, or your automatic response is to become like a flower, like a windflower, just really passive and small and like why am I doing that? Why am I, like it's becoming just curious around that. And then being able to foster more connectedness to what needs to happen. And as you slow it down with someone and come into the body and feel into that resistance, that nafsani kind of fear or stuckness, whatever it may be, you'll find that there's actually, okay, you feel small and ashamed, whatever, but there's actually a lot of anger, for example. Wow, a lot of anger here. Yeah, I can feel it. What are you feeling? I'm feeling heat in my hands. Okay, yeah, stay with that. Oh, what do your hands want to do? Oh, I want to just punch, or I want to just scream, or I want to just do, and I want to just grab, I want to, okay, and just sit with that. And what you'll notice in that person then is like they're like coming back into the real world. They're coming back into their heart, coming back into accessing the faculty of anger again. القوة الغضبية, which is a really core faculty, right? The anger puts boundaries. Anger delineates me and not me. What I believe when I don't believe. What I think is good and what I think is not good. Boundaries. Maybe for them, that's that process of finding their hearts and nurturing the inner child, growing up, right? Grounding in their hearts, grounding in their bodies. And simultaneously, if there is an ancestral wound there, maybe your father was also, someone that collapsed from his anger, and your grandfather and his grandfather, and so on and so forth. That all of a sudden you're healing the ancestral pattern. Like, that's what that looks like. You're healing that transgenerational pattern. You're not going back in some spirit world or drinking ayahuasca and going in your spirit to your grandfather and asking for the healing or whatever. I'm not even sure that's what they do, but it's not that, it's not our way. Our way is working with what is, being in the present moment and confronting the nafs, right? And not confronting it from a place of criticism or guilt or shame or anger or resentment or all that. Quite the contrary. You're confronting the nafs with compassion and curiosity and attention, and just like, hey, you learned to do this strategy because you didn't have something. What do you really need? You know, and people can have amazing conversations with themselves. It's like the heart speaking to the nafs. Like the heart is the adult inside of you, and the nafs is like the child inside of you. It's like, hey, what do you need? And something really powerful can happen in that type of discourse between the self and the self. So again, having someone that can take you on that journey. This is all a journey. We're talking about a journey. It's a healing journey, ultimately. Same way spirituality is just a spiritual journey, right? It's not just say your shahada and do 5 prayers and boom, you're there. It's not. It may take your entire life. Maybe at the moment of death that you arrive there, right? Or here. But would that make the journey worth it? Inshallah, I will. Whenever it happens. But it is a journey, so finding a good guide is helpful.